25 production I matter explores the states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas, and how they relate to the human condition. The show begins with an originally composed introduction featuring flute soloist Addison Bayless and the saxophone set. The introduction gives a visual overview of the different states of matter. In part one, we dive into the solid state of matter. Earth by Imogen Heath was arranged by this movie. Solid presents itself as full, a foundation stable, and can vary in size. The solid connects our human condition to the idea of being a fully realized person. Not only strong physically, but also strong mentally. We express confidence, trust, in a strong will to whatever we set our minds to. Drum agent, is the band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Neshaminy High School Marching Band.
Everything we are, everything we become, starts with a simple truth. We matter. From the core of our being, to the ways we move through this world, we exist in different states. We begin grounded, solid, a state that holds shape, that holds strength, a foundation built to endure. Solid is structure, solid is truth, and like this state of matter, we rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Neshaminy High School Marching Band.
Great idea.
In our next part, we will continue to explore solid and then move on to liquid and gas. Thank you, and we will see you at the football game.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. It's time to fill up your pool. BCWSA offers easy and cost-effective bulk water delivery throughout Bucks County for $180. They will deliver 5,500 gallons of clean water right to your pool. It's a faster way to fill your pool, and you won't have the increased sewer bill by filling it yourself. And if you're on well water, you won't need to worry about the well drying up. Call BCWSA today at 800-222-2068, extension 113, and schedule water delivery, or visit bcwsa.net.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems, and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
1490 WBCB, Levittown and Trenton.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Markets, online or the app, and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Markets in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.
From Harry E. Frank Stadium in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, we welcome you to Suburban One League National Division Football here on WBCB. Hello and welcome, everybody. Alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Gallagher, I'm Jordan Hirsch, coming to you live from Heartbreak Ridge, where last week, unfortunately, it lived up to its name as Neshaminy was handed their first loss of the season by previously winless Cheltenham, and now they look to right the ship against the 3-0 North Penn Knights. Last season, the Knights crusaded their way to the District 1 title game, where their quest for victory was dashed by Downingtown West, and now this year they've rolled through interdivision play, outscoring opponents 105-42 through the first 3 weeks of the season. Nick, this team can beat you in a lot of different ways, but one thing is certain. If the Skins want to penetrate the armor of these Knights, they will have to slow down their fearsome rushing attack.
And that's where it starts, Jordan. This trio of tailbacks for the Knights tonight. Matt Powell, the leading back, the Navy commit. So he'll be in a rushing attack for years to come. But also Riley Gray and Cam Maynor, big contributors to this Knights offense. They have all scored this year. Maynor had 2 touchdowns last week, and Gray had a touchdown himself, a 20-yard touchdown scamper as the Knights take the field tonight. And it's going to be a tough task because they're going to be rotating these backs quite frequently, Jordan, and keeping Neshaminy really tired as each back comes in. They're going to be really fresh down after down.
Now for Neshaminy, Nick Felis said he wanted his team to contend with some adversity, and after playing near perfect football the first 2 weeks, the Skins are now put back on their heels for the first time following the loss last week that not many people saw coming. With one of Bucks County's best in town tonight, how do you expect Neshaminy to respond?
It's going to be a tall task, and head coach Nick Felis has a task in hand this week, and really Neshaminy has to get back to what they do well, Jordan. They kind of had to play from behind all week last week. The defense was kind of just all over the place, unfortunately. Cheltenham had a great game plan to attack them last week, but Neshaminy's got to go back to their ground game. That's really something they've been really successful at, and we'll talk about Carter Klee a lot tonight. But when Neshaminy rushes the ball at least 140 yards or more, they usually win games. So they got to get back to the ground the game. And really, Michael Eckert has looked really well in the passing attack this year compared to last year at this point in the season. So he can definitely throw the ball as well, but their ground game is really where they really are a successful offense when they got that clicking on all cylinders.
Well, the Skins are looking to get back on track and also exercise some demons as well. North Penn has won 4 straight and 10 of the last 11 meetings with the Skins. Will Neshaminy pull the sword from the stone and remind people why they too are one of the top teams in the area? Or will North Penn continue their dominant reign and stay unbeaten? Find out next. It's the Knights and the Skins in the SOL National Division Opener, and it's next right here on WBCB.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Back here from Heartbreak Ridge, Neshaminy and North Penn have taken the field. The Skins, they won the toss, and Nick Felix said, "We want ball first." They elected to receive. And so it will be the Skins on offense to begin the night. Brock Williams back deep to receive for the Skins. Skins looking to bounce back from their loss against Cheltenham here in the SOL National Division opener. And off we go from Heartbreak Ridge. Nick Sassano has the return, and he's spun down at the 25-yard line. Today's game on WBCB is being brought to you by the St. Mary Medical Center, McCaffrey's Supermarket, the Revere Restaurant, Jennifer Shorn for DA, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, Sandy's Beef and Ale, Team Toyota, the Trentonian, PIAA District 1, the N Club, and the Irish Rover Station House. Eckert in the shotgun to begin the night. They'll go to the air, has time over the middle, and out of the backfield, that's Carter Klee. Out to the 35-yard line, it's a gain of 9. Michael Eckert last week, 17 of 29, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Also 13 carries for 74 yards and a TD. Second down and 1. Quick throw to the outside. That's Mike Sassano down the sideline. And he's run out of bounds by Jack Stogaitis. That's a first down pickup to the 45-yard line. And so the Skins do something on their first 2 plays that they didn't do the entire first quarter last week, and that's pick up a first down. RPO run, and it's Michael Eckert again. This time he dives ahead to the 50-yard line. Well, Michael Eckert coming into this game, a 67% completion rate, 8 touchdowns, and just 1 interception this season. And then on the ground as well, 31 carries for 169 yards and 2 scores. Already 10 total touchdowns for the senior signal caller. 2nd and 5. Nick Sassano goes in motion. Eckert, they set up the screen. Brock Williams has some space. Dashes his way up the middle and breaks a tackle before being brought down by Stalgaitis once again. That's a gain of 7, and the chains are moved once again.
Seems like head coach Nick Felix kind of went back to the drawing board this week after that Cheltenham loss here at Heartbreak Ridge last week, and kind of went back to the plays that were making them successful in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, Nick Felix said his team, he feels like they're resilient. Eckert, another quarterback keeper, another time with a lot of space, and he fights his way forward for another first down. That's 13 more yards on the ground for Michael Eckert. This is the first time the Skins have to try to bounce back from a loss, but Nick Felix pointed to the fact that they were able to make it a game again in the fourth quarter last week as to why he feels his team will be resilient on the field this time around. Here's a give to Carter Klee, takes it over the left side and rumbles forward for another good gain. That's a pickup of 8 on first down, and the Skins are quickly down to the North Penn 22-yard line.
Birds on the stop. 8-yard gain, 2nd down and 2.
2nd down and 2. Eckert gives to Klee, and he's stood up by that big physical North Penn defensive line. The main man in there was Jacob Garrett, the junior.
Was there for the tackle.
And North Penn, they've already surrendered 3 first downs on this drive. They gave up just 8 first downs the entire game last week. Their 42-7 trouncing of Quakertown on the road. Brings up 3rd and 2. Eckert back to the ground. He's got the first and a little bit more, racing into the red zone to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 8 on 3rd down. And so North Penn, they've already allowed half of the amount of first downs on this first drive than they did the entire game last week.
And Neshamany's O-line is dealing on this drive. They're looking strong and physical up front in the trenches early on, a battle we're going to look and monitor all night tonight.
Yeah, both teams have excellent players on both sides of the ball when it comes to the trenches. 1st and 10, Eckert, another quarterback keeper, and he runs into a wall. Again, it was Jacob Garrett, the one to bring him down. Nate Shepian, the linebacker, was also in there. That'll go for a loss of 2 back to the 16. North Penn currently ranked as the #1 team in the Suburban 1 League by S1Insider.com. Off to another 3-0 start. For comparison, Neshaminy is ranked 9th in that ranking this week. 2nd and 12. Eckert to the air, has pressure. They set up the screen. It's Carter Klee. Klee racing ahead and taking it into the end zone. What a start for the Skins. Nick Felix wanted them to face adversity. And so far, so good as Carter Klee puts Neshaminy on the board. First, it's 6-0.
A great feed and find by Michael Eckert there in some traffic, had some defenders in his face. And Carter Klee, once again, right spot, right time. And he does the rest of the work for this Neshaminy offense early as they get on the board early in this one, 6-0.
Damian Castro out to add the extra point. It's a line drive end-over-end kick, and it's no good. Missed it wide to the right. So the Skins march their way down the field on their opening drive. Unfortunately for Neshaminy, Castro couldn't bang the extra point through. Hopefully that doesn't prove to be costly, because Nick, in a game like this, North Penn, one of the top teams, if not the top team in Bucks County, you don't really want to be leaving points up on the board, but all in all, a very good start for the Skins.
Very, very good offense showing from their last week against Cheltenham, as you mentioned, Jordan. Definitely a different first quarter, but also, yeah, you don't want to be chasing points later in this game. Yes, 1 point right now, you don't think too much of it, but if it's a 1-possession game or 2-possession game later on because of a missed extra point, you're really going to be kicking yourself for that. But overall, a very good start for this Neshaminy offense. Exactly the start they needed, too, against a very high-powered North Penn team.
Yeah, North Penn's not a team that you want to fall behind against, especially by multiple scores. And so getting those first points up on the board certainly feels good for the Skins. And now it's on their defense because this is a very high-powered North Penn offense, and this is a very short kick. It was fair caught and then juggled and fallen on by Lucas Oropeza. And so now out comes the Knights offense led by senior quarterback Matt Buxar. Buxar, a 3-year starter on this varsity squad. Last season at the helm, went 98 of 167, 1,650 yards, 17 touchdowns. He's a threat to run as well. 420 yards on the ground last year and 3 touchdowns. Buxar hands it off to Matt Pownell, and he takes it right up the gut. And he's got a first down gain on his first touch. Senior Matt Pownell, the Navy commit. Last week, 12 carries, 77 yards, 2 total touchdowns. Said after the game, the offensive line allowed them to run, quote, the North Penn way. As his yard total now up to 316 for the season. They feed Pownell once more. He takes it over the outside, and that time he's stacked up. Brought down by Dan McGarity, the safety, coming up to make that tackle after a pickup of just a yard.
Well, coming into this game, we were talking about how Neshaminy really has to tackle tonight early on at the point of contact, in that first point of contact with any of the running backs that North Penn can throw at you, and then especially in the open field. As Riley Gray, we'll see a little bit of him. He's more of the elusive back in the trio and can't let him get into free space.
Gray gets his first touch here on 2nd and 9 and falls ahead after a short gain to the 43-yard line. They'll give him 3 yards on that carry. It'll set up 3rd down and 6. You mentioned Riley Gray being that elusive back. He had over 100 total yards and a touchdown last week. The touchdown that he had, it opened the night for North Penn. And I kid you not, he wanted to take the ball up the middle, was able to bounce outside, and then made 5 different Quakertown Panthers miss en route to the end zone. Very slippery back, Riley Gray, who's lined up to the left of Matt Buxar for 3rd down and 6. And before the play, we've got a whistle and a timeout. North Penn will use their first. They're led by their longtime head coach, Dick Beck, now in his 24th year at the helm of North Penn. Beck, he played on the line for legendary CB West head coach Mike Patine. He was on the 1985 undefeated squad for Central Bucks West, then went on to be a captain in the starting center at Temple. He's had a very successful run with North Penn, guided them to the 2003 state championship as well as the 2011 title game. Last season, they fell to Downingtown West in the District 1 championship. I'd like to thank Bucks County Courier-Times writer Tom Moore for providing us with some information on North Penn for tonight's game. The Knights seem to have some early confusion getting this play off. Now they're set. On 3rd and 6, Buxar slings a pass, and that's complete to Matt Pownell. He's got the first down pickup into Skins territory to the 49. That's the other thing these North Penn Knights running backs can do, Nick. They're not just utilized in the ground game. They'll line up on the outside, and they're dangerous in the receiving game as well.
Yeah, Cam Maynard specifically had a couple of touchdowns himself last year out of the backfield in receiving, and he's going to be a dangerous guy. And really on these 3rd downs, you can't get Buxar comfortable back there if you're Neshaminy. You've got to get pressure in his face, or he's going to be slinging around the field all night tonight.
They place the ball at midfield for 1st and 10. There's Riley Gray trying to take it to the outside and can't. He's driven backwards by Milo Makes. That goes for a gain of 1. Milo Makes, he was on the coaches roundtable on Wednesday. He was talking to Chris Ermer, and Makes was talking about his pregame ritual, said he drinks his special drink, which contains about 25 ounces of coconut water, liquid IV, creatine, salt, and regular water. Sounds like a concoction you could maybe throw some fresh fruit in, maybe a couple of strawberries in there, Nick.
That actually sounds good, actually. That concoction sounds like something I would take after a gym workout.
2nd and 9, play action. Buxar fires low, but it's Matt Pownell again, or no, that's the tight end rather, Wyatt Martin, bringing that one in for a gain of 8 to the 41-yard line, and that'll be 3rd down and inches. Matt Bucksar certainly has a big arm. So far hasn't needed to go deep yet, but he's got that in his repertoire. 3rd down and 1. Clock all the way down to 4 minutes to play here, first quarter. Skins on top, 6-0. They'll give it to Pownell on the jet sweep. He's got a 1st down and some more. Tripped up across the 35-yard line, as there to get him was Mike Sassano. It's another 1st down pickup for the Knights to the 33-yard line and give him 8 yards. North Penn in the Max Preps era, which goes back to 2004, 16-6 against Neshaminy. Mentioned it in the open, they've won 10 of the last 11 meetings. Moving the ball methodically on their opening drive. On 1st and 10, the handoff goes to Gray. He scoots his way forward down to the 29-yard line, and he's got 4 yards on 1st.
Yeah, what Neshaminy's got to do is kind of avoid what happened last year, a 37-7 loss against the Knights here. Michael Eckert had an interesting night. He had the one lone touchdown for Neshaminy last year. Carter Klee didn't play in that game. And a different Neshaminy team this year against them.
2nd and 6. They again hand it off to Pownell. The jet sweep goes to the other side, makes a cut move. He's got a 1st down. He barges his way into the red zone. Down to the 14-yard line for Matt Pownell. You can see why he's committed to Navy. You know, 2 things, right, if a guy's committed to Navy if they're a running back. It means 1, they're tough, and 2, they're very talented, because those armed forces schools, we all know, they play a certain style of football.
It's going to be fun to watch him on Saturdays coming up in the next couple of years, knowing that we got to watch him at this stage here at a local level.
The back is Duke Horgan. He explodes up the middle on his first touch. Shot out of a cannon down inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 6. Or check that, that was actually Zion Smith getting his first touch.
2nd down and 3.
Zion Smith, he had a garbage time touchdown in the big win last week. They give it to him again. Smith up the gut, gets stacked up. Let's see if they give him enough for the 1st, and they do. This North Penn rushing attack, they've got a whole bunch of guys back in that stable, Nick. And so far, we've seen Dick Beck deploy 3 of them on this first drive.
And they've moved the ball just as well as Neshaminy did on their first drive, pretty much at will, mixing in a couple running and passing plays. Very balanced offense, but the rushing game is really something to watch out for. And Neshaminy is going to have to deal with all night long. A lot of fresh backs out there.
I formation on 1st and goal from the 3. The give is to Pownell. Cuts inside, close to the goal line. He's going to be about a half a yard short.
Matthew Pownell down to inside the 1-yard line, but he was stopped by Nick Sassano.
North Penn does still have to run another play here. We've got about 6 seconds separating the play clock from the game clock. This drive has already chewed up over 7 minutes. Let's see if they give it right back to Pownell. Yes, they do. He gets hit initially and can't surge ahead. No gain. It sets up 3rd and goal. And now with 17 seconds to play in this opening quarter, we'll see if North Penn chooses to let the clock just run all the way down. And that's what they're going to do. We're going to keep it here as well. It is First Responders Night here in Langhorne. We'll have some special ceremonies here in between quarter number 1 and quarter number 2. We'll turn it over to the PA voice of the Skins right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the track in front of the home stands, where tonight we want to take a moment to honor some very special members of our community, our first responders, to the police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and all those who serve on the front lines. Thank you for your time, your dedication, and your unwavering commitment to keeping us safe. You are the quiet heroes who put your lives on the line every day to protect and enhance our daily lives, community, and our country. Your service often goes unseen, but it never goes unappreciated. Today, we stand united as a community to recognize your courage and sacrifice. Thank you for protecting our families, our neighborhoods, and our way of life. We are deeply grateful for everything you do. And once again, Redskins fans, please join on a big round of applause for our incredible first responders.
Come on, girl. Don't be a Karen. Don't be a Karen. Don't go stealing the baseball. Football. Get it here.
With the touchdown for Lake Penn.
Well, as we were in those ceremonies, Matthew Pownell barged his way into the end zone, and so this game's now tied. The extra point on the way, it's up and good. And so North Penn goes on top 7-6. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. The N Club, supporting Neshaminy football since 1961, would like to take this opportunity to wish our players the best of luck and ask you to come out and support them, and also to support our concession stands at all home games. So North Penn responds to giving up the opening touchdown, and they take a drive of 7 minutes and 46 seconds, and it finishes in 7 with a 1-yard TD run by Matt Pownell. This time the Knights with the short kick. It bounces and fielded by one of the up men in Caden Weaver. And then he's shoved out of bounds shy of the 35-yard line.
Caden Weaver on the return for the Redskins.
Well, something Neshaminy's got to be thinking about in the back of their mind, and head coach Nick Felix specifically. Well, your defense was just out there for pretty much the remaining of the first quarter after an opening touchdown from the Skins, and if they could do that now, they prove they could do it at any point in the game. So Neshaminy's also got to control the clock, and that's going to be something to look out for the rest of tonight's game. Neshaminy doesn't have to go down in 2 minutes. You know, control the clock, pace yourselves, and kind of keep that North Penn offense off the field.
So far, the running game has been the story for both squads. This drive starts from Neshaminy's own 34. Eckert's been using his legs. He's been using them effectively. And on 1st down and 10, he takes it to the 39 for a pickup of 5. That's half of what he needed.
With the quarterback keeper. 5-yard gain on the play.
That seemed to be one of the staples of the game plan last week, was Michael Eckert using his legs. He had 74 yards on the ground and a touchdown, 76 yards on the ground and a touchdown when these two teams met last season. 2nd and 5, Eckert to the air. Quick throw, miscommunication, it's incomplete. The pass was intended for Bobby Lagler. And Nick, now that's the second time we've seen it this season, where there's been some miscommunication between number 1 and number 12.
Yeah, not too often you see that, but they needed Lagler in that play.
3rd down and 5.
Big play here. Your defense was just out there for a while. Would like to avoid going 3 and out. 3rd and 5. Eckert steps up, trying to race for the pylon. He's got it and then some. He's past the 1st down marker. He's into North Penn territory. And so Michael Eckert, his legs have been at the forefront of what Neshaminy has wanted to do now the last 2 weeks, and he's off to a much better start here tonight.
He's getting some good blocks up front, making some good decisions early on, and that's so important for Michael Eckert and this Neshaminy offense to keep them moving.
1st and 10 from the 43. Eckert on a design quarterback run takes it down to the 39-yard line, and so 4 more yards for Eckert and his legs. Well, so far so good. The Skins responding to this adversity from last week. Nick Felis, of course, a very successful head coach. Only lost 1 game at Penn Cambria last week, and he's got his Skins rolling on offense right now. There's Carter Klee breaking a couple of tackles before being wrapped up and taken to the ground at the 34-yard line. He's a yard short of what he needed. It brings up 3rd down and 1. This could very well be 4-down territory as well, out in no man's land on the field. I think everybody in the stadium knows what's coming. Will it be Klee or will it be Eckert? Williams, the motion man. They're going to sling it to him out of the backfield. Tries to make a man miss. He ends up going backwards. Matt Pownell with the tackle, and the Skins try to use the element of surprise, but it's to no avail. That was a backwards pass, Nick. I almost expected Brock Williams to wind up and potentially throw that football. But now the Skins on 4th down and 4. Mentioned it right. This is no man's land. The offense is staying out there.
Yeah, you 3rd and 1, you had a good situation. Eckert's been running well. Carter Klee, you haven't utilized too much early on in those running games. Surprising play call on the 3rd and 1 to go backwards.
4th and 4. These are the plays you got to have in a game like this. Eckert slings it for Mike Sassano. He's got it and more. Sassano off to the races. Down to the sideline, and he's forced out of bounds inside the 5. Mike Sassano answers the bell on 4th down, and the Skins are set up in a goal-to-go situation.
Great bounce back play. Sassano getting some space on the quick slant, and he does the rest, getting the Skins into goal line territory.
Skins moving quick. Looking to punch it in for 6 more. Eckert right up ahead. He dives through, and he is in. The big play on that drive. Mike Sassano on the last one, and then Michael Eckert pays it off with 6 points, and the Skins go right back on top. It's 12-7.
Michael Eckert's 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, and he's having himself a great start to the Skins offense, in control as they go up for now.
The Skins are going to go for 2, so after on the last touchdown, Damian Castro missed the extra point. Nick Felis wants to get his team back on top by 7. Definitely a much better start for the Skins offense as well. They scored just 6 points in the first half last week. They've come out and scored on their opening 2 drives. This to make it a 7-point game. Williams goes in motion. We've got a flag, and we've got a false start going against Neshaminy.
Felis is not happy about that one, as he was out about the 25-yard line in frustration.
And it's going to mean this 2-point try is now going to be attempted from the 8 instead of the 3. And the offense stays on the field for it. Eckert fires, and it's incomplete. Sassano was the intended target, Mike Sassano, but the throw is low on the slant route, and so it remains 12-7. And Nick, now the Skins have left 3 points up on the board. They've got the lead, but you want to be able to cash in on those opportunities.
Yeah, we talked about, Jordan, just you can't leave points on the board. Yes, I do agree that was a good decision to go for 2, even with the penalty. Probably was your best choice to do that now in the game early on. And you just got to figure out a way to get those 3 points back, you know, whether a field goal or a turnover. Something Neshaminy's got some work to do defensively now. You got to stop North Penn here or kind of commit a turnover and get some points back in your favor. But definitely showing really good effort in these first couple possessions offensively, Jordan, too. Something we get to talk about pregame tonight is Head coach Nick Fields had the team on the field for an extended period of time as we were leaving the field last week in their loss to Cheltenham. And whatever he was saying, hopefully just to regroup the troops and get everyone back on the same page and believe in what he's selling to them. And so far it's looked good, and now your defense has got to step up here.
Yeah, after the defense gave up 38 points last week, allowed a 7-minute 46 touchdown drive on North Penn's opening possession. And now the Knights get the ball back, trailing 12-7. Castro sends it away. And it's taken in by Aiden Ashley. He rumbles forward to the 35-yard line where he's brought down by Carson Schneider. So now for Neshaminy, how does their defense respond? Nick Fields made it a point to talk about in the coaches' roundtable that they were emphasizing tackling. Said there were too many missed tackles last week against Cheltenham. Part of that was the Panthers just had a bunch of athletes getting the ball open in space, and the coverage wasn't really up to par. We haven't really seen Matt Buxar use his arm a whole lot. He's got a couple of passes in this one. Under center for 1st and 10. Play action. There's his arm. Going deep. Has a man, and it is incomplete. Excellent coverage by Mike Sassano. It was intended for the senior Mason Franek, and Sassano was stuck on him like sticky glue.
Yeah, Sassano there, stride for stride with him. And yeah, very good coverage. Was able to get a hand. No pass interference call. Really good use there, knowing your surroundings and where the ball was. A lot of defenders play that the wrong way in that situation on a deep ball. They know they've been burned. Sassano recovered pretty well. Buxar threw the ball, had it right there, but credit to Sassano being in the right spot there to deflect that pass away.
2nd and 10. There's Pownell looking to set the edge. Spins off of one man, spins off of a second. And then finally taken down across the 40 to the 42. That's what Nick Fields was talking about, right? Those missed tackles. And you see a couple right there on that 2nd down run for 6.
Yeah, great spin move there by Pownell, too, utilizing that move. Just definitely, if you're Neshaminy's D-line and linebackers, your front 7, you don't want him to break off you continuously before he takes one to the house.
So here's 3rd and 4, 5 receivers wide. And now Cam Maynor comes into the backfield for the first time tonight. On 3rd down, Buxar wants to go to the air, slings it up the seam, and it's incomplete. Off the hand of Franek. And the Skins defense able to hold by the skin of their teeth. Franek was wide open. The throw was a bit high. And so we've now seen Buxar be just a tick off on a couple of these throws. And that one costs his team a 1st down and maybe more, because if he hit Franek in stride, there's a lot of green turf in front of him.
Yeah, Carson Schneider was in coverage, was beat on the play too. And that would have been a big play for the Knights.
Instead, it's a punt. And it's a wobbly one towards the sideline. And it goes out of bounds around the 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
Looking to score big on your dream home. Inspire offers competitive mortgage rates, local service and guidance.
So now the Skins on top by 5 against undefeated North Penn. This is where Neshaminy can't let their foot off the gas. They've had a fantastic game plan so far, and this North Penn defense that gave up only 7 points last week haven't really had an answer for the legs of Michael Eckert. Eckert seemed to find his rhythm in the 2nd half last week, and he's carried it right over into this matchup. From the 37, this drive begins with another run by Michael Eckert, dashing his way up the middle and then stumbling ahead to the 45 for a pickup of 8. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
No, why not? Why not? I mean, every game plan is different. If Neshaminy saw something on film, they like Eckert running the ball majority of their plays tonight, then so be it. And if North Penn decides to stop it, Neshaminy's got other options too.
2nd and 2. The give is to Klee. He drags his defender forward close to the line to gain. Tycho Betters brought him to the ground, but Klee extended the football just enough to move the chains. Went over the left side of that offensive line that features Owen Schwartz. Giving a lot of credit to the Skins in the trenches right now. We knew that would be a storyline, and right now Neshaminy, they've got the advantage. 1st and 10. Eckert, pump fakes, looking for the home run ball with Nick Sassano, who can't bring it in. Oh, he was juggling it. He had Matt Pownell beat, and he just had it go off his hands. That right there was a classic case of the run game opening up the pass, and that's one that Nick Sassano would love to have back.
Yeah, it was in his hands, just a tough play, coming down with the catch on the ground, and I'm sure he'll want that one back, and he'll try to make up for it at some point in this game. You know he wants another opportunity.
2nd and 10, Eckert back to the ground, runs into a wall and gets shoved backwards by Nate Shepian. They say no gain, and now it appears that Eckert is going to have to use his arm, although the way he's been running the ball, let's see if North Penn could stop him twice. That could be the thought process for Nick Felis. No safety high for North Penn. 3rd and 10. Eckert being chased, being flushed, gonna take off, using the speed and getting close to the line. Did he quite get there? Where the official's walking in from, I think he's about a half a yard short. Well, Michael Eckert put it into 2nd gear, and he got to the 45. And he got enough yardage for the offense to remain on the field for a 4th down and a short 2.
Owen Harris coming on the linebacker blitz that time. Eckert able to get away.
More pressure. Eckert straight ahead, loses the football. And Tycho Betters is on top of it. Perfectly dialed up blitz that time. Filling the gaps were those linebackers. That was a beautifully executed run blitz. Eckert had nowhere to go. And the fumble, in a way, actually sort of helps Neshaminy, because Eckert wasn't going to be able to convert that. He got hit well before the 1st down marker. And so that fumble actually ends up pushing North Penn back a couple of yards. Buxar hands it off. That's Riley Gray, the elusive running back, twirling his way ahead to the 46.
Nick Sassano on the tackle.
Riley Gray gets the gain of 7. The junior running back. It's been mostly him and Matt Pownell. We've only seen Cam Maynor once. They give it to the motion man, and Pownell once again, and he's stacked up. Carson Schneider, the main skin in there. That goes for a gain of just a yard, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2 for North Penn.
Matthew Pownell on the run. Carson Schneider was there for the stop.
The Skins have certainly had answers for a lot of these outside runs that Dick Beck has been dialing up.
That's something last week, Jordan, we saw Cheltenham trying to do a lot of those quick passes and runs to the outside, and they were very successful at it. And you can tell really Neshaminy has made adjustments so far in the early stages of this game to kind of help prevent that.
3rd down and another short 2. Zion Smith the back, we've got a whistle, and we've got a timeout. That allows me the opportunity to let you know there's great food and fine spirits and good times. They're always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. Open Tuesday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to midnight, Friday and Saturday, 11 to 2 a.m., Sundays, 11 to 9 p.m. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org. Third and 1, tight formation. Handoff, it's Zion Smith, and he burges his way ahead for a first down. Across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Give him 4 as he flips from one 48 to the other. And it keeps the chains moving for North Penn. A little interesting that we've seen the sophomore Zion Smith more than we've seen Cam Maynor, the senior. Maynor 4 carries, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a couple of receptions as well against Quakertown last week. It's been ground and pound on both sides. This time Bucks are back to the air, fires over the middle, and it's complete. Mason Franick with the catch. That goes for a pickup of 9, and that's got to feel good for Franick after he had the ball on the last drive go off his fingertips on third down.
Franick, one of the offensive weapons for this Knights team, hasn't been utilized too much in this early stage of this game. But he is not very familiar with getting a ton of looks from his quarterback, Matt Buxar.
Yeah, that was his 16th catch on the season, now up to 236 yards. Here's a handoff to Pownell. He barges ahead. He just puts his shoulder down and bulls his way for a first. There's that physicality from Matt Pownell, committed to Navy. Not the biggest guy out there on the field, but certainly one of the most physical. Matt Pownell, first team All-SOL National Division on both sides of the ball last season. Had 1,499 total yards. Man goes in motion, Buxar drops back, looking long, going for Franick, and it's incomplete. Keeps trying to hook up with Mason Franick. Got it to him once on this drive, but that connection has been just a little bit off.
Mason Franick, the intended receiver.
That time again, Franick had space, and it was a little underthrown. Nathaniel Rivera was the closest skin in coverage. And it brings up 2nd down and 10 for North Penn from the Neshaminy 33. Buxar sets up the screen with Riley Gray, slips a tackle, and then falls ahead close to the marker. I think he's going to have just enough to move the sticks, and he does. It's a 10-yard screen pass from Buxar to Gray. He certainly is very shifty.
He really is. And he's a tough guy to bring down.
And now the Knights might be in their mode where they're thinking 2 possessions for 1 right here. Neshaminy won the coin toss they elected to receive. North Penn gets the ball out of halftime, and they're looking to barge ahead into the lead before the break. 2 minutes to go. Handoff. Pownell on 1st and 10, and not much doing that time. Rocco Gregory, the linebacker, there to get him to the turf. This game's got some good pace to it, Nick. This is just the 3rd drive for North Penn. With a minute 39 to play till halftime. Knights looking to have it end in 6. Second and 8. Buxar, quick throw to the outside. That's Cam Maynor in the passing game. Slips a couple of tackles and then dives ahead for another first down. It sets up 1st down and goal for North Penn. And tackling is starting to become an issue now for Neshaminy.
Yeah, these backs are going all over the field. And a good play design there just to dump it off. Again, same thing really for both teams. You got to get your offensive stars in space, and they do a lot of the work on both for Neshaminy and for North Penn.
Let's see if they keep with the mantra of ground and pound right here. First and goal, handoff, Zion Smith brought down at the ankles by Corey Kenoy Webb. First time we've called Corey Kenoy Webb's name tonight, and that's mostly because it's been just run, run, run for North Penn. Kenoy Webb off to a flying start this season. Had 3 sacks last week, 5 tackles for loss, and 7 total tackles. Kenoy Webb in total has 5.5 sacks on the young season. A guy that wasn't even supposed to be playing a whole lot. I formation look and movement up front. There has not been a lot of laundry on the field tonight. But it's seeming like that whenever both of these teams get down into the red zone, we're seeing some flinching. We're down to just, by the way, 18 seconds on the clock. And North Penn is going to use their final timeout right here. And now if you're Neshaminy, you got to believe that North Penn is going to be passing the football here. They can't really afford to run it because if they're not able to get in, they'd be rushing to the line on 3rd down. And this is going to be the first big test for the secondary. You can't really sugarcoat it. Last week they got torched. They haven't been needed a whole lot in this game because of the running style of North Penn. How do they respond to their first big test right here?
Well, yeah, head coach Dick Beck thinking about what to do on this play. And yes, Jordan, you would think they don't run it, but also it could be a little bit of a surprise. Do they have trust in whoever the back is in for this play to touch it and take it in? Maybe the screen pass game has worked very well for them. Do they trust to play a little screen pass, whether it's over the middle to the outside and kind of let the tailback do the rest? Or do you want to put the play in your quarterback's arms, Matt Buxer, the 3-year starter, and see what he can do to sling it into the end zone?
Skin sideline trying to get their student section hyped up here on this blue out night in Langhorne. 2nd and goal from the 10. Maynor is the back. He's motioned into the slot. Buxar rolling. Eyes on the end zone. Fires, and it is caught for the touchdown. Sal Colella with his first catch of the day puts the Knights on top with just 12 seconds to go until halftime.
A great rollout by Buxer, finding Coella in the end zone, and a good throw, good placement there, back corner. Tough for the Neshaminy defender to get to that one as North Penn goes up.
The extra point is up, and it is good. And it's a 14-12 North Penn lead. That was a nice play design by Dick Beck. Having his quarterback roll to the right. And Sal Colella, a guy not typically utilized in the offense all too much for North Penn. A guy who makes his money playing safety on the defensive side of the football. Gets himself a touchdown and gets North Penn back in front by 2 points. Still, if you're in Neshaminy, you got to be pretty happy with your first half performance, assuming they're able to polish it off with no mistakes right here in the final couple seconds. Facing undefeated North Penn, a team that's had their number over the last decade, ranked #1 in the Suburban 1 League. Jacob Garrett, by the way. Or I should say John Sweeney, the kicker. Brock Williams back to receive. We'll see if Sweeney sends this one deep. He does this time. It's in the direction of Nick Sassano. Starts up from the 15, splits a couple defenders, and then not much doing after that. Give him 11 yards on the return. The clock is down to just 3 seconds. And I think we're going to see that non-victory victory formation now for Neshaminy. Take the knee, go into half down by 2, and make those adjustments where you need, especially on defense. all in all, North Penn, they certainly have an electric offense, but they've been kept off the field for the most part because the Skins have chewed up a lot of time on their drives. But tackling, I would think, Nick, is going to be one of the things that Nick Fearless is going to preach to his squad during this break.
Yeah, you really have to get your defenders in positions to make the good tackles, whether you go low. You don't want to go high on these guys. They'll just elude you. And, you really got to be happy, Jordan, with Neshaminy's first half performance compared to last week. A nice bounce back, a team you're toe-to-toe with, and a lot on the board here in the second half.
Quick moving first half ends with a 14-12 North Penn lead. Do not go anywhere. Our halftime ceremonies will begin after this break. It is Hall of Fame night as well here at Heartbreak Ridge, and we're going to have some members of Neshaminy's athletic alumni inducted into their Hall of Fame, so stay tuned. The halftime show will follow, as well as a performance from the North Penn Knights marching band. 14-12, Knights on top, 24 minutes down, 24 to go. Halftime is next on WBCB.
Jeffrey Murtha. For bowling as well, Brittany Calvert. Cross country, Eric Chapman. For field hockey, Sharla Jakic. For football, Mark Simpson. Indoor track, Alyssa Zukowski. And for indoor track, Benjamin Matsky. Lacrosse, Francesca Donato. Soccer, McKenna Mullen. And for soccer, Tom Foley. Soccer, Vincent McGlynn. For soccer, Devin Swain. For softball, Samantha Kramer. For track, David Merrington. And for volleyball, Michael Small. Give it up for your 2025 Hall of Fame inductees. And now, for your 1979 Neshaminy Maple Point Softball State Championship team. They went a record 23-5. They were led by head coach Marge Tickner. Assistant coach Claire Hillard. And the assistant coach Barry Pesci. For your players, up first Nancy Benson. Susan Blaker. Sandy Poroshaner. Ellen Boyce. Ellen Callahan. Sandy Callender. Melissa Holmes. Lori Hyjeric. Sharon Martin. Joanne Quinn. CJ Wagner. Marie Walter. Cindy Winters. And Trish Zive. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1979 Neshaminy Maple Point Softball State Championship team.
I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I have stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Markets, online or the app, and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Markets in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.
They are Young Penn Lucky Knights Junior performing Friday Night Exhibition.
on that stuff. It was 20 minutes. Yeah.
Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250. Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
1490 WBCB, Levittown and Trenton, and video stream.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Markets, online or the app, and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Markets in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250. Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Back here from Heartbreak Ridge. Second half of action is about set to get underway. Both teams are stretching in their circles right now. North Penn holding this 14-12 lead, Nick, and the Knights are going to get the ball to start the second half as well after Neshaminy. They won the coin toss but elected to receive. It ended up being a good decision. They went down there and punched it in for 6. Their offense so far has been led by Michael Eckert, but not through the air, on the ground. Eckert's been gashing this North Penn defensive line to the tune of about 5 to 6 yards per carry. He's been carrying the Skins offense, so to speak.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. He's making good reads with the football in the RPO plays and even the direct snaps he's taken. He's finding the seams, getting to the outside, getting up the middle, attacking North Penn's front seven, and he's extending Neshaminy's drives and really keeping them and their offense flowing tonight. It's looking good, and you expect a lot of more to come in the second half for them, Jordan, to really be successful and Eckert to continue what he's doing.
And I think that if you told Nick Felis that his team would be down just 2 to the top team in Suburban 1 League at halftime, he would say that he would take that. And sometimes, Nick, the best defense, right, it's your offense. North Penn, they only had 3 first-half drives. Now, they scored on 2 of them. Both teams took a lot of time off the clock whenever they had the football. But Neshaminy being on the field for a good portion of that first half, keeping North Penn's offense on the sideline, that's been the key to their success so far on defense.
Yeah, it really has been, and Neshaminy's got to do more of that in the second half if they want to come out on top tonight. You just got to keep Matt Buxar and the Knights off the field, extend their drives, balance their offense a little bit more, and Neshaminy really has a chance. Yes, you're down, but you're kind of in control of this game. You can't let it slip away from your fingers because you're right there, and you got to be able to take it tonight. And really, Neshaminy's defense, yes, they forced the punt on the one possession for the Knights, maybe a turnover because the Knights already have a turnover against Neshaminy as Eckert fumbled it at about the 40-yard line in that second quarter. So Neshaminy's going to get one back and get some points out of that, points off that turnover, and that could be a difference maker for them in the second half.
And now for Neshaminy, when their defense has been out on the field, missed tackles have bit them once again. Nick Felis said his team was really honing in on that in practice this week, and it's been a little bit better, all things considered, going back to last week against Cheltenham where they missed a ton of tackles. But in a run-heavy offense, got to make sure you're getting these guys down on initial contact. North Penn's offense, they're going to be up first. They're on top by 2 because of some special teams miscues by Neshaminy as well. Had a missed extra point, a failed 2-point conversion as well after a false start. And the second half from Heartbreak Ridge is underway. The ball was juggled initially by Aiden Ashley, and then he falls on it at the 35-yard line, and that's where this North Penn drive will begin.
Well, to your point, Jordan, about the tackling for Neshaminy in this second half, you really got to tackle in the right spots in these early downs, the second and third downs, to prevent the Knights from extending their drives, getting their offense off the field. It's really critical. Yes, you're going to expect them to move the football in this second half, but tackling them on those crucial second and third downs can limit their offense and force a lot of punting situations for the Knights.
1st and 10 from their own 35 to begin half number 2 here in Langhorne. It's a give to Matt Pownell. Takes it over the outside, and not much doing for Pownell on that first down carry. There was a swarm of skins in there to get him. It goes for a gain of 3. And so Neshaminy continues to shut down this outside run game that North Penn keeps trying to go back to the well on. The Knights have had more success when they've run into the heart of the Neshaminy defensive line. 2nd down and 7. Still looking for both of these teams to get their passing game going. Matt Buxar did have a 10-yard touchdown pass at the end of that second half to Sal Colella. He's going to the air for the first time in half number 2 here. Now escaping. He'll take off. He's across the 40, and then he's stacked up. Keeps the legs churning. Out to the 44-yard line. So more good coverage by the Neshaminy secondary. Unfortunately, the defensive line could not keep contain. And that goes for a 6-yard run, and it sets up 3rd and 1.
The quarterback keeper, Owen Schwartz, was there for the initial stop. 3rd down.
North Penn has been very good in these 3rd down situations, mostly because it's been like these. 3rd and short. Handoff, it's Pownell. He keeps the legs churning, and he gets the 1st down. Corey Kenoy-Webb and Mark Ilkovic, they were both there in the backfield, but neither of them could bring down Pownell, and he's able to surge forward for the 1st down pickup.
Yeah, I tried to go low on him there, and just, again, he was just an elusive maneuver to get through the defense there and able to get enough for that first line, kept those legs moving, as you mentioned, Jordan, and kept the Knights offense on the field.
Sometimes better to try to go high on those tackles. Yeah. 1st down and 10. Riley Gray is the back. He gets the football, and he moves it out to the 49-yard line into Neshaminy territory for another 3-yard 1st down gain. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 7. This is the way North Penn has done it so far. They don't really have any big plays to their name. Just churn out short 3 to 4 yard gains, mix in a 10 or 11 yard run here and there, methodically march down the field. It's worked so far. Play action. Buxar slinging it in the middle. That pass is complete. There with the reception is Dom Tranzilli. Or Will Rittenhouse, rather. The roster we received has some interesting number combinations. There's some mixed names, so we apologize for that. First and 10. The give is to Pownell. This time he breaks into the 2nd level before being tossed to the ground at the 30-yard line by Carson Schneider.
Carson Schneider and Nick Sasano on the tackle. Matt Pownell was your ball carrier.
North Penn has gone to the air a little bit more than Neshaminy has. And you got to think at some point, with the way that both of these teams have established the run, someone's going to look to hit the other one over the top. 2nd and short, here's Riley Gray. Breaking to the outside, he's got room. Gray into the red zone, and then pushed out around the 10-yard line by Mike Sassano. And now this North Penn offense starting to churn a little bit more with some bigger chunk plays.
Mike Sassano. That was a 1st down for North Penn.
But both teams so far, they're 2 for 2 in the red zone. North Penn, they were just down there at the end of the 2nd half. That 10-yard touchdown pass to Sal Colella gave them the lead. Now they're looking to build on it. We've got whistles, we've got movement. This keeps with the trend of flags are only allowed inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it is true. It's a storyline we're actually watching so far.
It didn't affect North Penn on their last possession. It has affected Neshaminy because, of course, they were going to go for 2, had the false start, still ended up trying for 2 on their 2nd touchdown. The pass was incomplete.
Yeah, Neshaminy is really doing a good job not having too many penalties, Jordan. That was something throughout the first couple weeks of the season they were trying to work on and get better. I believe off the top of my head, I think it's only been 2 penalties on them tonight. So they've been very disciplined and much better in that aspect, and that's huge in this game.
First and 15, handoff, it's Pownell looking for a seam and not finding it. Instead, he's just going to use his physicality to push the pile. Isn't it nice to have that in your back pocket? There's no running lane there whatsoever. A great job by the Neshaminy defensive line, but Pownell still churns out 4 yards.
And that is the point for this Knights offense, this trio of tailbacks that can throw at you, whereas Neshaminy's got their D-line, they're rotating guys in and out, but you don't have the Knights have it, 3 tailbacks that can come in and just keep being fresh all game long on every drive.
This drive's nearing 5 minutes. 2nd down and 11. North Penn can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. On 2nd down, Buxar fires short, pass complete to Mason Franek, and then he's dropped down at the 6. And another chance now for this Neshaminy defense to hold. This time 3rd down and medium. And I know it's a very talented North Penn Knights offense, but if you want to pull off the upset and deliver the Knights their first loss, these are the plays you got to make on defense.
Yeah, big 3rd down here with already half the quarter gone. As Knights have owned this quarter on time of possession.
Man coverage across the board. The motion man Wyatt Martin. Buxar this time rolls left. Going end zone again, and it is broken up. Mike Sassano with another big play on defense. And it sets up 4th down, and the field goal unit will trot onto the turf. That's the 2nd time Mike Sassano has broken up what would have been a big play. Of course, that one would have gone for 6. Also had great coverage on a deep ball in the first quarter that fell incomplete. Sassano certainly answering the bell after the Neshaminy Skins, their secondary really struggled last week. The extra point is up, and it is no good. Should say the field goal, rather. And Neshaminy's defense, along with North Penn's first special team miscue, keeps it at a 14-12 game.
Well, that is a blessing in disguise for Neshaminy. A huge sigh of relief. Good defense by Sassano to force the 4th down, as North Penn is not able to come away with points on a very 7-minute drive to start quarter number 3. And we talked about it, Jordan, in the beginning of the game, those 2 points from the 2-point conversion, and in the missed PAT Neshaminy had. Well, there's a chance to get those 3 points back. Now Neshaminy's got to come back and answer with some points on this drive late in the 3rd quarter.
Each team has now left 3 points on the board. Klee gets the first carry, and he gets bottled up. They're going to give him, I think, a loss of 1 there to get him. Nate Sheppy, the linebacker, called his name a few times tonight. Neshaminy's got to take advantage of this now. North Penn certainly has, holding this 2-point lead after Neshaminy's left some points up on the board, and now it's the Skins' turn, looking to return the favor. That drive, by the way, for North Penn ate up over half of the 3rd quarter clock. A lot of long, sustained drives in this one. Eckert to the air, slings it for David Liberty, and it's incomplete. Trying to thread the needle that time, but Sal Colella said, nuh-uh.
Yeah, dangerous pass there, a low pass from Eckert, and that could have been going the other way, just like that.
So it brings up 3rd and 11. Let's see if one of the Sassano brothers or Brock Williams wants to get involved, and Nick Felis is going to talk it over before this 3rd down play. I'll let you know that the N Club is supporting Neshaminy football since 1961. They would like to take this opportunity to wish our players the best of luck and ask you to come out and support them, and also support our concession stands at all home games. Great food, fine spirits, and good times are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports, and happy hour every Monday, 4 to 7 p.m. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you could read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org. 3rd and 11, backed up at their own 19. Skins looking to avoid their first 3 and out and their first punt of the game. Eckert to the air, in the middle, dropped by Bobby Lagler. The throw was behind him, and if those two had their connection on the money, it would have been a first down. It's now the second time we've seen that, Nick, where the first target of Bobby Lagler was miscommunication. He wasn't turned around on what Eckert thought would be a curl route, and then that time the throw was just a little bit behind Lagler. And that's going to be one that Eckert certainly wants back, because he had open space in the heart of the field, and he would have easily picked up the first.
Yeah, and he looked like he found Lagler right away, too. It looked like it was his first read there. Just a little behind him. Lagler tried to go back behind to make the play and just went right through his hands.
Matt Pownell back deep to receive. This one checks up inside the 45. Pownell starts. He's across midfield, and then he's knocked out of bounds by Mike Sassano, who's been all over the place on all 3 sides of the football tonight. That drive was easily the shortest of the game if you don't count the 3 seconds on the knee going into halftime. That drive only lasted for 45 seconds, after it seemed like every other drive was taken up half a quarter.
And this is big for Neshaminy defense to be back. They're going to half a field to work with. And you don't want North Penn to take up the rest of this third quarter here.
Great starting field position. Pownell takes the handoff on the jet sweep again, and he's out to the 40-yard line before he's brought down by a swarm of Skins. Well, in North Penn's 37-7 win over Neshaminy last season, the Skins certainly didn't benefit from some of the bounces. A lot of the bounces went the way of the Knights, but Neshaminy also was doomed kind of from the start because they kept giving North Penn short fields. This is the first time the Knights have had a short field in this one, and the Skins defense looking to stand tall again. Now 2nd down and 5 from the 40. Play action again. Bucksar over the middle, wide open man, and it's incomplete. Oh, the hit by Mike Sassano knocked it out. That pass was for Cam Maynor, and now Sassano's still down on the ground after he delivered the boom. While they tend to him, we'll step aside. 3:57 to play, third quarter, 2-point game here at Heartbreak Ridge.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Mike Sassano popped right back up, and then his name was getting chanted by the student section after he prevented another big play. That hit knocking the ball out of the hands of Cam Maynor, and now 3rd down and 5. Could be 4-down territory. Skins would like to find out. This is a little reverse handoff, and the Skins, they were not fooled. Mark Ilkovic said, "You want to try to surprise me? Do not attempt." And it brings up 4th and long.
A great defensive stand for the Skins. Great play by Ilkovic there to read that play from the jump. And a huge stop as the offense for the Skins get another chance here in the third quarter.
It's a loss of 5, and it forces the punting unit on. Big time play by Mark Ilkovic, the defensive lineman. Nick Sassano back to receive. He's not going to get a chance at it because it's a short one. Angled to the sideline. This is going to be marked right around the 30-yard line, and then there's some extracurriculars going on away from the play. Brock Williams is chopping it up with what looks to be Zaire Sanders. And that situation diffuses quickly. And the Skins are going to start at the 30. Nick, I did promise you before this game we'd get to our trivia question, but these drives really not allowing for much downtime.
No.
So if we get a chance, we'll get that trivia question to you. Can't make any promises, though, with the fluidity of this game.
Yeah, it's a close game, too, which is always fun, too. So love to get some good Friday night trivia. You can get it in at some point tonight.
3:07 to play, third quarter. Skins down by 2. Sassano pump fakes, going deep, looking for Brock Williams, off his fingertips. Second time they've tried that play. The pump fake on the wide receiver screen, and then try to hit your slot man, and the second time that a Neshaminy wide receiver has had it go off his hands. That one was a tougher one to bring in, but again, still one that Brock Big Play Williams, that like Nick Felix called him, like to have that one back.
A good, nice pump and go route to Williams. Use your speedy guy on the inside to beat his man. And he did. Williams had it. He beat his man, and he would have had 6 if he came down with that.
2nd and 10. The passing game starting to open up a little bit more. Eckert, this one just fired into the ground. Again, intended for Bobby Lagler. I don't know about you, Nick, but I'm a little surprised they're using Lagler in these shorter yardage situations in terms of these like shorter passes, because he was the main big play threat the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm surprised they used him as your X receiver, and really they haven't really gone to him stretching the field too much since the first couple weeks of the season.
Just like that, it's 3rd down and 10. Eckert, pressure. They set up the screen. Carter Klee, can he make something out of nothing? He can't. Wrapped up, taken down along the North Penn sideline, and it's going to be back-to-back 3-and-outs for Neshaminy. And now Tycho Betters is down. And while they take a look at him, and before this punt, we'll take another break. Skins down 14-12, 2:37 to play here in the 3rd.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Back from Heartbreak Ridge, good to see Tycho Betters. He got up, he walked off under his own power, albeit slowly. And now Nathaniel Rivera on for the punt. This is a nice one, although it's going to set Pownell up with a chance for a return. Takes it in on the short hop. And then gets brought down shy of the 40. Dan McGarity on the tackle. And the Neshaminy defense goes right back to work. Still looking for our first points of this second half, Nick. The Neshaminy offense has kind of taken a step back, but their defense has done just enough so far to keep them in this game.
Yeah, 2 punts for the Skins this early third quarter, a missed field goal for North Penn and a punt for them. And really think that the Skins haven't been able to take advantage. They've been able to keep the Knights offense off the field in this third quarter. They haven't been able to come away with any points so far.
This drive starts from North Penn zone 40. Give to Pownell. This time he tries the right side, and Owen Schwartz drags him to the turf after a pickup of 5. These two heavyweights, for the most part tonight, have just been taking little jabs at each other. When does someone go for a TKO? We've seen both teams now try to take the top off the defense a couple of times, and it hasn't worked. This time a quick throw. Mason Franick with the catch, eludes one man, and extends forward for the first down. I guess if extending the ball down the field isn't working, just get it to your playmakers in space. Let them do the rest. That's a pickup of 7. Takes it across the 50 to the 48-yard line. For Franick, that was his 17th catch on the season as he nears 250 yards. Play action on first down, slinging it. It's incomplete, off the hands and really through the hands of Wyatt Martin. Nathaniel Rivera then became the closest defensive back to that football. It's a dangerous one right there. Ball gets tipped up off your tight end's hands. North Penn is yet to turn the football over. Neshaminy did, but it was on a 4th down. On a fumble back in the second quarter. 2nd and 10. Another play action. Again, Bucksar rolls, throws across his body, complete. This time it's Matt Pownell making one man miss, rumbling ahead, stumbling into the red zone. Another case of a night being open over the middle of the field, and that time Bucksar was able to complete the connection. It goes for 32 yards, and North Penn in business once again as they look for this 2-score lead.
Another missed tackle by the Neshaminy defense there. Could have saved them a good chunk of those yards, and tight end was able to get down inside the red zone there and set up this North Penn Knights offense.
1st and 10, it looked like there was some early movement. You know why? Because they're inside the 20.
Oh.
Every time, without fail so far. All the flags have been in the red zone. Every one.
You just don't see that. It's a very bizarre thing you just don't really pick up on, but you and I pick up on it because we're here calling the game, but that is very strange.
It's like both teams have, they understand the magnitude of this game, both trying to get off to a 1-0 start in divisional play, and they understand you have to play that clean game. But those mistakes, they become magnified down in the red zone. That play, by the way, takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 14-12, Neshaminy trailing. Knights are driving. 36 down, 12 minutes to go. 4th quarter of action after this here on WBCB.
County. This is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I have stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Back from Heartbreak Ridge, 4th quarter of action about set to get underway. 1st and 15 for North Penn at Neshaminy's 21. Handoff, Pownell right up the gut, puts his shoulder down into Dan McGarity and gets driven backwards after a gain of 7. A score update to let you know about late stages 3rd quarter at Falcon Field.
Pennsbury trailing undefeated Penn Ridge 14-0.
And Penn Ridge meets North Penn next week, and Penn Ridge also 3-0, having some early season success for them. So a big matchup next week with the Knights and Penn Ridge.
Well, Neshaminy would like to do the best they can to make sure at least one of those teams does not enter that matchup still undefeated. It's now 2nd down and 8. Bucks are quick throw. There's Zion Smith on the swing route. Ball comes out at the end, and Neshaminy's got it. Zion Smith, they trust the sophomore. He loses his grip on the football, and Owen Schwartz scoops it up. Well, there's that turnover you were asking for, Nick.
And a great timing for the Skins to get the defense, comes up with it. Good play on it, and Smith coughs it up. And Neshaminy's offense is going to have some work to do, pinch back at their own 10-yard line. But there's the turnover they desperately needed, and hopefully they can shift some momentum in their favor as the offense takes the field here for the first time in the fourth quarter.
And now for North Penn, after they went 2 for 2 in the red zone in the first half, they're now 0 for 2 in the second half with a missed field goal and now a fumble. Skins still looking for their first down in half number 2, and Carter Cleese got it and a whole lot more out across the 25-yard line. Carter Clee putting the Crocs in sport mode and picking up the first.
Carter Clee has had a very quiet evening tonight, and Michael Eckert doing a lot of the carrying for the Skins offense. You would think, now Carter Clee does have that one touchdown, but it was a reception, but you got to think Clee's pretty fresh tonight. He hasn't been asked to do too much on the ground.
1st and 10 to Neshaminy, looking to move the football again. Quick throw, there's the connection to Bobby Lagler, but not much doing. He gets swarmed upon by a whole bunch of white and baby blue. That's a gain of 2 out to the 29. Eventually it feels like one of these two teams is going to have to make a big play through the air. Seen both of them try it. Hasn't worked so far. Neshaminy trailing by 2, looking to take a fourth quarter lead against undefeated North Penn. Eckert over the middle, threads the needle to Nick Sassano, stays upright for a moment, goes down at the 41-yard line. There you go, not quite the big play, but it goes for the first down. We've got another North Penn Knight down. Neshaminy moving the football. We'll take another break. 9:54 to go. Skins down by 2. We're going to take the lead back.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Clee's limping a little bit. He's looking a little shaky.
Well, Clee's going to head back out. Matt Pownell was the one who was down for North Penn. He got up, walked off slowly under his own power, so we'll keep an eye on that, because that would be a monstrous loss for the Knights. Skins, this drive started way back their own 10. It's quickly moved up to the 41. 1st and 10. Eckert, play action. Now looking to escape. Michael Eckert using his legs. Can he get away? He can't. Shoved into his own sideline by Owen Harris. That time he had about half of the North Penn defense chasing him, and he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. That brings up 2nd down and 10. Eventually, Neshaminy, if they want to win this game, they got to capitalize on these North Penn mistakes. Couldn't do it on the missed field goal, and now looking to do so on a fumble that occurred in the red zone that set up this drive. 2nd and 10, play action again. In the middle, there's Mike Sassano on a slant route, and Mike Sassano takes it to midfield. And now we've seen Eckert hit both Sassano brothers over the middle on this drive, and it brings up 3rd and 1.
Slant plays have worked for this Neshaminy offense tonight. That's been their go-to when they need something.
3rd down and
Down to 9 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Skins looking to start the season 1-0 in divisional play. Looking to hand North Penn their first loss. 3rd and 1 from midfield. Handoff, it's Klee. He breaks free. He's got the first down, dragging his defender to the 41. Dick Beck dialed up the pressure, and Carter Klee was able to find a seam. That's a pickup of 9. The chains keep on moving. Neshaminy looking like they're playing with a different level of poise on this drive.
Yeah, it's been looking more so, Jordan, like their first opening drive of the night where they punched it in for 6.
1st and 10. They've moved 49 yards. Eckert again over the middle. Again, it's Nick Sassano. Wave goodbye. 41-yard touchdown strike, and the Skins are back in front.
Well, Michael Eckert, his 10th passing touchdown of the season as he eclipses last year's season total of 9. And 2 passing touchdowns tonight. A beautiful strike. Again, Jordan threading the needle. 2 defenders right there. Sassano made a great play on it, got into space, and he did the rest as helps the Skins go in front.
The Skins are going to go for 2 again after they marched down the field 90 yards on what was, if not the best, one of their best drives of the season. Eckert, quarterback designed run. Can he escape? He can't, and it's going to remain a 4-point game. And now the Skins have left 5 up there on the board, which of course is the difference between this being a 1 and a 2 possession game. Of course, it might have gone a little differently had Damian Castro made that initial extra point. But nonetheless, North Penn now down by 4. Very impressive, Michael Eckert, right? Just 9 touchdowns last year. It's already eclipsed that now, like you mentioned. And that's without, it's not really an offense that looks a whole lot different from last year under Nick Felis, but just putting Mike Sassano in better positions, especially by way of the run game. And he made it pay off right there. And Nick Felis, he was on the coaches roundtable on Wednesday, said his team prides themselves on being a fourth quarter team. They had a big fourth quarter in week 1 against Emmaus, didn't have to in week 2, hung around last week, and put up some points in the 4th against Cheltenham, scored 15 in the final frame. And now on their first drive of the 4th quarter, they've got North Penn on the ropes a little bit, on top 18-14 with 8:08 to play. Damian Castro sends it away. It's very short, bounces at the 34, fielded by Riley Gray. Man, it's so tough to bring him down. And after a couple of missed tackles, there to get in front of Neshaminy was Mason Ponist. Defense, I think it's the old cliche, right? They've bent, but they haven't broken in this second half. And if they're able to not break right here, the Skins could be well in position, pull off this home upset. Got to get another stop, though. North Penn with decent field position, starting at their own 35.
You know how dangerous North Penn can be to manipulate and control the clock. This is a big drive for them. It's 8 minutes to go.
1st and 10, it starts with a handoff to Riley Gray. Breaks free for a moment. Owen Schwartz drags him down. He got him by the jersey sleeve, and he would not let go until Gray was on the turf.
Going to be an underappreciated play, but Carson Snyder there with the tackle, but initially you thought he was going to get a horse collar penalty, but made the adjustment, went back to the ball, and was able to get the tackle and avoid a penalty.
2nd down and 14. The Neshaminy's winning the trenches game right now on both sides. This defensive line, when they've needed to make plays, they've stepped up. Bucks are on 2nd down and 14 with time. Over the middle, pass complete. It's Sal Colella again with his 2nd catch. Able to move the chains for a 1st down. Well, North Penn, they've certainly been here before. This is a very experienced team with a steady head coach of 24 years. All Dick Beck has done at North Penn is win, win, win. Knights are not going to back down from this challenge. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Handoff, Pownell, he's back into the game and he's making his presence felt. Takes it to the 45 on a pickup of 6. For North Penn in the second half, getting into the red zone and sustaining these drives hasn't been the problem. It's when they've gotten there where things have gone awry. It'll be 2nd and 4, time ticking down to 6:15. Man goes in motion. Handoff goes to Riley Gray, trying to slip away. Can't this time. He's got the first down nonetheless on a 5-yard run. Seen a lot of shifty running backs in my time covering high school sports here in Bucks and Mercer County. Riley Gray might be the most elusive that I've seen. Seems like the first guy to meet him, even if he can get his hands on him, which hasn't always been the case, takes at least 2 or 3 different hits to get him to the ground. He's got it here, bounces to the outside, flags fly. This run is going to get pushed back, both metaphorically and literally, as Nick Sassano drives Gray back into his own sideline. They're going to get a hold right here. North Penn's offense is backing up.
And our first penalty, Jordan, not inside the red zone tonight with 5.5 minutes to go in the game. Who would have thought?
No, we've been waiting for it, right?
Holding our bated breath.
Charles Ashley is the guilty party. And so now 1st and 20 from midfield. Experienced offense versus a defense with the momentum. Bucksar pump fakes, going deep, down the sideline, and it's again incomplete off the fingertips. Starting to sound like a broken record. That was Matt Pownell, the intended target, the second time that he's had one go off his mitts. These are good balls that are being thrown, and a lot of it is also because of the coverage. Mike Sassana with more sticky coverage that time. Tell you what, the adjustment week to week that this secondary has made, you expected them to be better. Like you didn't think what happened against Cheltenham, where they were able to just do whatever they wanted, was going to happen again. But you know Nick Felis has got to be very, very happy with the way that his team's performing right now.
They needed this type of game just for the limited home games they have this year too.
2nd and 20, we've got a whistle, and we've got a timeout. And I'll let you know that there's great food, fine spirits, and good times. They're always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. They're open Tuesday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to midnight, Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They're closed on Mondays. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, you can visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org. Well, it feels like, Nick, if Neshaminy keeps giving North Penn bites at the apple, meaning if they keep getting down in the red zone, eventually they're going to cash in. So this feels like the series that Neshaminy's defense has to win. 2nd down and 20. Have to get a couple of more stops, and if they're able to force that punt, you could, in theory, get the ball back with about 4 minutes on the clock. If you play your cards right, North Penn doesn't get the ball back. I just said a lot right there. It's, of course, easier said than done.
Yeah. And this offense is really good, very experienced under Mac Bucksar at QB.
2nd and 20. Bucksar's got time. He's got a lot of it. He fires high and incomplete. Off the hands of Pownell once again. Big play, Brock Williams, the one in coverage. And now it's 3rd and 20. And that task is becoming a little more in reach.
And now on 3rd and 20, you got to figure out as a coaching staff for the Knights, what do you have in your playbook that can make this at least maybe a 4th and 10 or a 4th and manageable. And you know they're going to try to get something through the air here. And Neshaminy secondary is going to be on high alert, single high safety.
That's Nick Sassano back there. Oh, Bucksar went for the hard count. Neshaminy's defense didn't bite. 5:05 on the fourth quarter clock. The Skins clinging to a 4-point advantage. Bucksar running out of time. Owen Schwartz is chasing him. He fires and it's knocked away. Carson Schneider with the pass breakup. And it'll set up 4th and 20. Can't imagine they're going to leave the offense out there, right? Here comes the punting unit, and what a defensive series that time for Neshaminy. And what a play by Carson Schneider. Owen Schwartz, you're not going to see it in the stat sheet, but his pressure forcing Bucksar out of the pocket, and then Carson Schneider there to say no dice.
Brock Williams also a big pass break up there, defended that 3rd down play. That would have made their 4th down a little bit more manageable, but good defensive stand for the Skins. They needed that one.
Oh, the punt was nearly blocked by Owen Schwartz, who's starting to feel it a little bit. It's going to roll inside the 10, and it takes a Knights bounce down at the 4. 4:46 to play here in the 4th. In a perfect world, North Penn doesn't get the ball back if you're in Neshaminy.
Yeah, at that point, you're pinned all the way back there. Why not use the clock if you're in Neshaminy? Make North Penn use their timeouts. Move the ball methodically, just like you did on your last drive and really your first drive. That's been your bookend drives, your first one and your last one so far. They try to see if they can cap this one off with one more in them tonight to round this one out.
In the last decade, the Skins have only beaten the Knights once, and it came in the 2020 season. North Penn has won 10 of the last 11, and that streak's in jeopardy. This drive starts from the 5. Handoff, it's Carter Klee, bulging ahead, and he's got a nice gain there on 1st down.
I would say he bulldozed the man. Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
I was trying to figure out what word I wanted to use. It was one of the B words, and bulldozing I think is the correct one. It's a gain of 6 out to the 11-yard line. That's the way Neshaminy wants to do it. Run, run, run right here. Carter Klee once again. He's got a 1st down as he's spun forward out near the 20. Game plan might just be to ride Carter Klee down to 000.
Knights have 2 timeouts in their pocket. Really not near timeout territory just yet. But they do have them as they try to look to hold here.
Yeah, but a couple more plays and a couple more nice runs by Carter Klee, and Dick Beck's going to have to consider using those timeouts. 1st down. Don't think we'll see any surprises here. Going to run the play clock. Eckert, he'll keep it himself this time, and not much doing. Brought down by Dominic Transilli. Haven't talked about him a whole lot in this game, the big defensive end for North Penn. He's got an offer out there from Ursinus College. Or Ursinus. Again, the play clock's just going to run on down here. It's at 22 seconds right now. The game clock at 3:09. They gave Eckert the benefit of the doubt on that run. They gave him 4 yards, so it's 2nd and 6. Williams in motion. He gets it on the pitch play. Brock Williams looking to make something happen. And he churns ahead close to the 30 after the 28. It's about a yard short of what he needed. And now we're going to get that 2nd charge timeout to North Penn. I'll let you know there's great food, fine spirits, good times. They're always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne. Irish Rover is known for their prime rib dinner specials every Wednesday night for $19.95. Trivia night is Wednesday starting at 7 as well. Thursdays are their wing nights. There's live music on Saturday nights. There's Sunday Fun Day with a special $5 menu. Doesn't matter what day you head on down to the Irish Rover Station House. You're in for a good time. It's opposite the SEPTA train station in Langhorne. 3rd and 1, you're just giving it to Carter Klee right here and saying, go get that first?
Yeah, you can't do anything fancy. We'll take you back to the earlier portions of this game. It was a 3rd and 1, and Neshaminy tried to do a screen pass into the flat and wasn't successful. Just keep your head and your shoulders down low, whether Eckert keeps it himself or Carter Klee right up the middle. And even if you're not successful, Jordan, you still got a 4th and short, as long as you don't do anything too cute here and backwards.
The run out of the gun once again. Clock is stopped at 2:49. There's the handoff. Carter Klee stacked up. He was close. Driven back by Transilli and Owen Harris, and he's a yard short. Ooh, big time decision right here, right?
Yeah, you keep your offense on the field too. They're going to talk it over. The Knights take their final timeout.
Now what? So you're back on your own 28. Of course, if you don't convert here on 4th and 1, the Knights are in prime position to go down and win this game. But a first down and North Penn can't stop the clock, it's pretty much on ice.
Yeah, then Neshaminy can just utilize the play clock, not rush, and just kind of melt the clock little by little. He'll probably need another first down or so to really ice the game. This is a tough play call for head coach Nick Felis here on his offense.
And look, the Neshaminy defense has been playing lights out here in the second half. But I agree with what Nick Felis is going to do. They're going to go for it here. You're trying to pull an upset against the #1 team in the league. You got to be aggressive. 4th and 1. Eckert making sure everybody's on the same page. And now Neshaminy is going to use a timeout. And we'll have to wait in suspense a little bit longer. I can really understand it both ways here, no matter what Nick Felis decides to do. And I honestly think that if this is a game against a team that's 1-2 or 0-3, maybe you punt it away. But you have to have some bounces go your way in games like this, and you've got to have some of these decisions work out. This is, of course, very risky, but these are the plays that can define your season, and these are the calls that can define your season. It's only week 4, but if Neshaminy is able to go to 1-0 and then get the tiebreaker over North Penn in divisional standings, just because it's September 12th doesn't mean that the last week of October, this decision right here could prove to be monstrous. And so the offense is back there, back out on the field. Here we go. 4th and a yard. Play action. Eckert, first down and more. He breaks free. Michael Eckert, roaming in space, slides down. And Neshaminy is 2 minutes and 24 seconds away from handing North Penn their first loss and exercising the demons against these Knights. Gut C.
And there's almost the big blow that we've been looking for from either one of these teams tonight. And who else but Michael Eckert has done it all night with his legs. And when it matters most, he puts his team on his back on a 4th and 1. And he takes it in position, a nice veteran move to slide down inside the 35-yard line. It sets Neshaminy up to ice this game.
They should just be able to take knees here. Instead, they hand it off in a very safe run, that time with Carson Schneider out to the 29-yard line. The clock's running down to 1:42, now 1:41. And with the play clock at 34, you do the math, Neshaminy should just be able to take a couple of kneel downs right here. A little surprised they decided to run. But either way, Nick, Coach Felis, he wanted his team to experience adversity. In his first home game, and in Neshaminy's home opener last week, against an 0-2 Cheltenham team, they got punched in the mouth, gave up 38 points, lost 38-29. Were trailing basically the entire way through. They knew they had one of Bucks County's best coming into town tonight. And they've certainly stepped up. Carter Klee races ahead, And that's the cherry on top. First down run for Carter Klee. Nick Felis is going to get his first win here at Heartbreak Ridge. And what a win it's going to be. The Skins will improve to 3-1, 1-0 in National Division play. And for just the second time since 2013, Neshaminy is going to beat North Penn.
Coaching staff for the Skins is fired up on the Neshaminy sideline.
You want to talk about fired up, how about the players as well? And they deserve it. This is a huge win, not just for this season, but for the program. North Penn has dominated the Suburban 1 League for years and years. And this doesn't take away from what the Knights have done in the past or what they're going to do later this season. But the Skins defense pitches a shutout in the second half. Michael Eckert, that touchdown drive, he was surgical, making tight window throw after tight window throw. And then he goes back to all reliable, his legs, to put the game on ice. And Neshaminy wins it. 18-14 your final over the Knights of North Penn.
A fun one, Jordan. And Neshaminy, you can't let up. A big challenge next week. You're on the road against 1-2 Abington, and you're back here at home next 2 weeks. So a big test for them on the turnaround next week as they go to Abington.
Well, our player of the game, it's got to be Michael Eckert for the second time this season. Following the conclusion of this broadcast, you can find that interview on our YouTube Shorts page as well as on Instagram at WBCB_SN. I'd like to thank our sponsors who made portions of today's game possible: the St. Mary Medical Center, Caffrey Supermarket, the Revere Restaurant, Jennifer Shorn for DA, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, Sandy's Beef and Ale, Team Toyota, the Trentonian, PIAA District 1, the N Club, the Irish Rover Station House. What a big-time, gutsy win for Neshaminy. 18-14, they take down North Penn. The Knights are undefeated, no more, and the Skins are 3-1. They're 1-0 to start their divisional slate. I'd like to thank our crew one final time. For my broadcast partner and cameraman Nick Gallagher, for Brianne O'Neill, she produced today's stream. My name's Jordan Hirsch. Skins win it, 18-14. Thank you for watching, and have a great night, everybody.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Markets, online or the app, and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Markets in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.